Well, welcome to the Athletic Ground here on Friday morning, and it's an amazing morning, beautiful sunshine. We've just had a World Cup game, Samoa against South Africa, and I'm delighted to be joined for this, the very first of what we hope is going to be regular interviews with playing members and squad members and backroom staff of the London Scottish squad. Delighted to be joined by Lewis Calder. Lewis, welcome. Now, very appropriate, your nickname Shadow, of course. You're standing here actually in my shadow. I don't mean that nastily, but tell us a little bit about the nickname Shadow.
I see you've been speaking to certain members of the squad.
Certainly have.
I think it's come about as a result of obviously my dad and my uncle.
So your dad's Jim Calder and your uncle's Finlay Calder.
Yeah. So. And they played a bit of rugby themselves, and I think the boys are pretty keen for me to get out of that shadow. So.
And I'm sure you will. Look, talking of getting out of the shadow, you've been injured and it's been very frustrating for you so far. Big game this weekend. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, the guys have come very close in a couple of games, and I think we realised that the step up from last year, whilst it might not be as big as we thought, these teams are so clinical when they get the chance. So that's the main thing, that we have to transfer that into our own game. And it's a great opportunity against Moseley this weekend, and one that we're really excited to get on with.
And of course there are two other big games this weekend. England are playing Scotland. We'll come to that a little bit later. But you're playing against Shelford tomorrow afternoon here, I think at 2:30. Are you raring to go in this
Absolutely.
spot weather?
Yeah. That's the big game of the weekend. So
the biggest game of the weekend.
Can't wait. Yeah, it's been a while on the sidelines, but looking forward to it tomorrow. We've got a good second team out, so hopefully a bit more of the same weather.
And one man's disappointment, of course, is the opportunity for somebody else, and people have been filling in for you while you've been injured, actually stepping up.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean,
it's not going to be easy for you to get back in necessarily.
No. I think I've been chatting with Simon. I think he was initially going to start me off in the threes. So there's such a wealth of talent and a real depth in the squad, particularly in the back row. So I've got a task on my hands to try and work my way back in. Certainly.
And last weekend, just going back to last weekend up at Doncaster, very disappointing, but actually more disappointing and more importantly, John Bordis had an operation, I believe, on Saturday night or Sunday morning. What do we know what the prognosis is at the moment and how he's doing?
It's such a shame for John, obviously such an important member of the team, but more importantly for his own welfare. Getting a serious internal injury like that.
He had a perforated bowel. If you're eating your breakfast, I apologise, but that's the injury.
And John's actually had to stay in for a further week. So whilst things are looking good, it's he's up there. It's still in Doncaster, so it's not a particularly happy time for John. But our thoughts are with him, and get well soon. If you get a chance to see this, John, we'll miss you.
Now, I understand his mother, there's quite a funny story attached to this, has gone up there to obviously be with him while he's in Doncaster and looked at booking into a Premier Inn and haven't seen Lenny Henry on the adverts and was told that she may not be able to book for a long time because this weekend they've got a budgie convention in there. So really, very bizarre. You do come from a great line of great Scottish tradition, and there's no greater club for Scottish tradition than London Scottish, is there?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you look at the the number of Scottish internationals that the club has produced. Far more than any other Scottish
over
club.
200, I think.
Over 200 Lions captains. It's got a huge heritage, and it's fantastic for the club to be back here in this division and looking up. But the important thing is we're not just here to make up the numbers. We're going to step on each week and become a force in the thing.
And the thing that's impressed me since I've sort of become part of the scene is that the number of sponsors are here, and the off-field setup is fantastic. It's a very professional setup, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we've fortunate to have a really good backroom staff who are working very hard on sponsorship and the likes, and the whole commercial setup behind the scenes is fantastic. And I think that's one area that Tony Copsey's targeted. We want to be one of the best off the field as well as on the field in the division, and that's certainly something that we're moving at a good pace.
And it's all part of the match day experience for supporters and fans, and the fans here are fantastic. They make a lot of noise and they're very passionate, and that's really important as a player, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. We had fans last year travelling up to Blaydon and then down to Redruth, and then back up. I think we had 2 fixtures in Newcastle last year within 2 weekends, and so a lot of the fans have been here since the club was relegated down the leagues and have continued to support, and we welcome all the new fans this year that are keen to get down and watch the game.
And of course, it's very important. The amateur side is still flourishing and great, you know. And I know you guys are involved with the age group sides as well in terms of coaching and helping them. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing there as well.
Yeah, well, it was an initiative that Ian McEnroy actually kicked off last year. Who was fantastic in his role as club captain, and it's just, you know, trying to build relationships with the clubs so that the professional side and the amateur side are very much still connected, and getting first team players to coach certain youth teams on a Sunday where possible.
Now look, we've spoken about Shelford, very big game. We've spoken about Moseley, very big game. But there's a little game going on in New Zealand tomorrow morning, our time. England against Scotland. Come on, be honest. What do you think?
Yeah, well,
I'm an Englishman, of course, so you know we might disagree on this.
Yeah, well, we're going to watch what I say down here in these parts. But I think the one strength for Scotland is that, you know, we're back to a position where we're pretty much written off. Our backs against the wall, which is actually when we're pretty good. Whereas against Argentina, you know, we don't handle that favourites tag particularly well, which isn't a good thing. But you know, we've got a real chance to upset England's party, which, you know, the guys will need no other incentive. For
There's something special about playing England, isn't there? They want to beat England bad.
Yeah. Even if it's just to upset their route to, you know, wherever they get to the World Cup.
And of course, Andy Robinson is not slow in coming forward as naming the team as underdogs either, is he?
No,
he knows that tag is what they want.
Absolutely, yeah. Similar to London Scottish this year, you know, we have the underdog tag having just come up the leagues. You know, we've got to really thrive on that, because next year, you know, we might lose that tag. So similarly for Scotland, you know, it's a great opportunity to just go in and give it your all. And you know, I don't want to say too much.
What's your personal ambition for this season, for the club and for yourself as a player?
I think just, you know, obviously I want to be a part of the club's ambitions, and you know, for the club this year, it's very much about having a good season, finishing well, and you know, consolidating to some extent for next year. I think so much work's been done off the pitch compared to where we were this time last year. And it's very much about getting, you know, a good platform this year, and then next year, you know, building on from that. And you know, I'm just really looking forward to being a part of that.
Well, Lewis, look, I wish you all the luck for tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think you're going to need a bit of hydration looking at the weather, and I hope you last the 80 minutes. But we look forward to seeing you back in the side soon as well. No doubt you're going to be here on Sunday, obviously, watching the game. And looking forward to seeing a lot of people down, hopefully, to come and support the boys and make some noise. And I think it's a family day. Family tickets are available at 15 quid, I think, for a family. Brings many kids. Don't even have to bring your own kids, I guess, but come along and enjoy the atmosphere. And look, we look forward to seeing you.
Thank you. Cheers. Thanks.